Good morning, everybody. My name is Dave Finale, and I am the host and founder of Real Estate Talk TGIF, which is brought to you by Real Estate Skill Builder, as well as the Modern Agent team, where we believe in experiencing us is the best way to figure out if what we're doing makes sense for you. We build on lead gen, lead conversion, and we're doing it in a conversational, communicative way where scripts are guides and not the thing we harp on. Anyway, I have a great guy here today. I first became aware of Kevin Ward prior to this pandemic thing that we experienced. Got his book, learned about him, used his scripts, helped agents with your scripts, and I just love the way Kevin does stuff, man. I want to thank you so much for being on today, Kevin.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, man, so we're going to go to a quick video, right, Nelson? Let's go to the video. We'll come right back.
Real estate agents, are you looking to acquire clients consistently to grow your business and income for a great lifestyle? Well, this is Dave Finale, and I'm here to bring you the Real Estate Skill Builder broadcast, Real Estate Talk TGIF, brought to you by Real Estate Skill Builder and the Modern Agent team.
So here we are again, right, man? So I said, you're a coach, you're a speaker, you're a trainer, right? It was all in the promo. You have the book of yes, and you have a new book coming out called More Yes, More Success, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm so anticipating it like crazy. You are a powerful individual. You tell it like it is. There's no bullshit to what you talk about. And as we get going, man, I need to ask you a question before we get started about the broadcast. A lot of people get this wrong, so it's okay if you don't get it right, this answer. What does TGIF stand for?
Thank God it's finale. I do my research, bro. Well, I do my research. We never met before, and I'm like, okay, who is this guy? I'm going to come on and do a podcast with him. So let's just find out who he is, so that I know what I'm getting myself into.
Hey, man, so you are now one of my new favorite people, but you were before we even met. So this is really cool. So Kev, you know what? I've watched a lot of your stuff over the years, gotten really involved in what you do, and as I said, I have your book, and I've used your scripts. I have a lot of agents that are excited that I was doing this today. But I always ask people the same question in the beginning, and it's, man, what's your path? How did you get started? How did you get to be this super coach of real estate agents, where you just, I mean, you're yourself. First of all, you're yourself. That, to me, that's the most important thing, right? There's no phoniness. There's no BS about you. But how did you get here?
Lots of pain. I started out, I'm a small town country boy from West Texas. I grew up in Anson, Texas, most of my life on a farm, 43 acres of farm. My parents were school teachers, so we weren't farmers. They were school teachers. I grew up in a mobile home 1.5 miles away from the nearest paved road. And then went to Abilene Christian University in Texas, that was kind of like the Jerusalem, the holy city in my world of the Bible Belt, and then became a preacher. Preached for 15 years. I got tired of just always struggle with church politics and just that stuff that I felt like was a barrier to get you and God. And so I'm like, I'm going to go it on my own. So I decided to become a real estate agent. Got my real estate license. I preached my last sermon on a Sunday, loaded up the U-Haul that night. I was still a do-it-yourselfer back in those days. Loaded up my U-Haul that night. We drove to Dallas-Fort Worth from Vernon, Texas, where I had been preaching for 7 years. And then the next day, I moved in. And the next day I went to work. Showed up at Century 21 Mike Bowman in Grapevine, Texas. As a brand new agent, I'd never done any sales unless you count being a head cashier at Burger King when I was in college as sales. And I had no savings. I had no plan B. I had no other source of income. I had credit cards, and that was it. And I just went all in and did that for about 10 years. I got pretty successful pretty fast just because I was willing to do the work. I was willing to do what nobody else would do. We had role play every morning in an office of 120 agents back when mega offices didn't really exist. Having 120 agents was a massively big office. And it was the number one Century 21 office in the world. And like, it was like that for 19 out of 20 years or something like that. And they had role play every day. Dan Galt was my trainer. And every day in an office of 120 people, there were 2 people that showed up consistently every day, me and Elvira Rose. And that was it. but I was willing to do the work. I was willing to get on the phones. I was willing to make phone calls. I was willing to face rejection. I was willing to face my fears. I did that. I started in May 21st of 1998, did 19 deals that year. The next year in 99, I did 42 deals. Went to a Mike Ferry Superstar retreat, hired a one-on-one coach, John Ferber. And that took me from 42 deals in 1999 to 108 transactions closed and pending in 2000. And then I started having an affair with my business partner, burned my life to the ground. Everything I believed in and everything I stood for, I betrayed. I walked out on my family. I was married with 3 daughters, and I walked out and just burned it all to the ground.
You know, I mean, that story to me is not, it's not something that doesn't happen. It happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. Happens a lot.
You know, so okay. So then what?
Well, so this is, and I'm going to just kind of say, this is what shaped who I am today, is because all I ever wanted to do was win. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to help people. I wanted to add value to the world. I believed I was called by God to do something great. And I was doing great in real estate. I did it to help people. I did it to make money because making money would give me the freedom and opportunity to do my mission in the world. And then having an affair because there were things not right in my marriage, and my responsibility, that's not winning, it's losing. So I had all the awards. I was, all the top agent stuff and the awards and all of the recognition, because back in those days, we didn't do mega teams. That term had never even been invented back then.
Exactly. Right.
And so doing over 100 transactions was very, very rare back before the advent of mega teams and all that kind of stuff. And so when I did it, it was kind of like, that was kind of a big deal. So I'm winning. Like, yes, I was voted Realtor of the Year for the #1 Century 21 office in the world. Yes, look at me, walking out of my family, burning my life to the ground. Had an alienated relationship with my daughters, literally for it's been over 2 decades now. This last weekend was the first time since I walked out that I got to spend a long amount of quality time with my daughters. They all came out. They spent 5 days here with me in the mountains, and we got to heal. And they brought my sons-in-laws came, my youngest daughter's boyfriend, and my 5 grandsons all came out here for 5 days. That's been a over 20-year journey of healing because of the mistakes that I made, and realizing winning is not just about making money in business. Making money in business and real estate is job one when you're a real estate agent. No question about it. But you got to take care of all the other stuff in your life, or it's not going to last.
Yeah. What you just said kind of hits home with me. I won't get into now. It's not about that today. It's life is fleeting. And taking care of the things that are most important, sometimes you lose, and holy shit, what do you do now? And then there's business. And then you have to think about, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the most important thing to me? Mm-hmm. And I have that question. I ask that question to myself almost every day. I look at business as a means to an end, but mostly what I do now is I enjoy what I do. I enjoy making the calls. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy helping people, but it also has to be, I have to enjoy helping people that are close to me as well. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but go ahead.
This is the thing, because you're like, what's most important? I can tell you what's most important. It's your whole life. And this was what I learned, was it's all life. So we talk about work-life balance. Well, over here, you got to work and make money. And then over here, you got to have your life. And I'm like, what's going on in your work is going to affect your life. And what's going on in your life is definitely going to affect your work. I went from 108 transactions to less than 60 transactions the next year. Why? Because I burned my life to the ground. So you can't, it's kind of like work-life balance. There is no such thing as work-life balance. It's all life. Your work is a part of your life, your relationship, your faith, your feelings, your fitness, your body. So I call it the 7 domains that you got to take all of your life. And I just started a new podcast a couple of months ago called It's All Life. It's not even a real estate podcast. It's all life. And the reason I did that was because I see too many people, they excel in one dimension of their life, in one domain, in one area or two. And they're a 1 or 2 dimensional person. They're like killing it in business, but their kids don't talk to them. They don't have time for their family. They have an affair, or whatever it is. They get burned out. All of the because they don't have emotional well-being, what I call the feelings domain. And you got to be good at all of it. It's like, which is the most important? Well, it's kind of like for a professional tennis player, which stroke is the most important? Well, it's the one that you need right now to hit the ball back. That's the most important stroke. And if you can be the best server in the world and you will not win a single match against somebody who has a complete game. It's all tennis, right? It's all life. And if you have all 7 domains and look like, well, I just one of those people who family comes first. Good. I love it. Family is one of the domains. But if you're not making money and you're the provider, then you're not taking care of your family. So money's not that important to me. Family's most important. Right. But if you're not providing for your family, I think people really underestimate how important money is in today's world. That you need to make money. You need to make a lot of money.
I want you to, when we talked yesterday, we talked about, and I wasn't even going to talk about this today, but you just brought it up. I mean, one of the things I see is that realtors are always on their phones, right? People say that you're always on your phone, always on your phone. And you talked yesterday about something you saw with Grant Cardone. Would you elaborate on that?
This is part of the just learning how to integrate your life and your business. And so right. I was watching a video of Grant Cardone, and he was on the phone with his wife. They were separated by, he was on a project, so they hadn't seen each other in a long time, in days. He's talking to her on the phone, and he gets a phone call coming in while he's on the phone, and he says, "Honey, I got to take this. I'm going to bounce you off, and I'm going to take this call." And after he did that on the video, then he explains what he did. He says, "I have an agreement with my family that when I'm on the phone with them, unless it's an emergency, if I'm in the game, when the call comes in and it's an opportunity, I bounce my family off the call. I take the opportunity call." And people go like, "Yeah, but I believe family is first." And he says, "So do I. This is how I put my family first, because if I take care of the opportunities here, I'm able to provide for them with abundance so that I'm always able to take care of my family. So I am putting my family first. By when I'm in the game, I'm doing the work." Now, that doesn't mean that I take a phone call 24/7. I'm on call 24/7. In real estate, you don't have to do that. Okay, right. You don't have to do it. If you're at your kid's soccer game, or you should not have your phone. If you're a coach for your kid's soccer team, you should not have your phone on you while you're coaching or practice or whatever. When you're engaged in a relationship with your wife, your husband, your kids, whatever it is, turn your phone off. You don't. I got a special thing on my phone, Dave. It's called voicemail. It's really cool. And if you use it, knowing how to do a good voice greet, knowing how to engage with people, super, super awesome. I also encourage them to text me, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I don't bullshit people. This whole thing of, "Hi, sorry I missed your call. I'm either on the other line or out with a client." It's 2:00 in the morning. Are you fucking kidding me? Stop the bullshit. It's like, "Hey, thank you for your call." Okay, it's just thankful for your call. Please leave your name and number, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. Just tell the truth. You don't have to act like you're busy in order to justify why you didn't answer the phone. You have a life. Everybody knows this. So it's just a matter of prioritizing and having clear boundaries of when I'm going to engage in business, when I'm going to engage in my family. And if I'm just hanging out, or if I'm on the phone, if I'm at work and my wife calls, I'm going to answer the phone. But if I get another phone call come in and it's business, I'm going to bounce my personal phone call and take care of business, because I'm in the game.
I love what you say. I mean, I'm on the other line right now. You don't have another line. Those cell phones got 2 lines, unless you've got Google Voice or all this other crap. Hey man, that's one thing that is really important, and that's one thing I've been thinking about a little bit since we mentioned it. Going forward into, I mean, your story is to me not typical, but there's some things in there that are. And the reason I like this story and the path of the people I bring on to have a conversation with on the broadcast is because it's important for people to see where everybody else is from. And what I mean by that is to know that they're not alone, to know that they might be in the same path and just aren't willing to come out. I mean, you're completely open with everything. And, that's hard for a lot of people to do. But I think it's important for them to be open with themselves to see where their next path is. And I'm very much I'm like intrigued now with 7 domains, and I need to get involved in that a little one way or the other. But anyway, let's talk about real estate agents, right?
Sure.
So you've been a coach for since 2000. You've been coaching your business. Your business is 2012.
April 10th, 2012. I did my first live podcast webinar on Google Hangouts. I had no money, so I was like broke, but I had the dream, and so I just did a Google Hangout. Had like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 people on it. That's how I started. 11 years ago.
And I'll tell you, I mean, that's really all you needed to get started. I mean, it all depends on a lot of things. Do you have a message that people want to hear? So talk to me about, there's a lot of agents out there today, and this is a market we're in today that we are broadcasting this live on July 14th, 2023. And the important part about this market is I think it's going to be around a little while. But honestly, I want to tell you that I believe it's similar to a lot of markets in one way, that you're going to have the same type of agents. Now, I do believe that there's going to be more of an expanse between top agent and not a non-producing agent, but still there are agents that have done well. They're at a certain plateau and they're stuck, or they're new agents. I think a stuck agent and a new agent is almost in the same place. Talk to me about stuck agents and what their process should be and can be to get unstuck.
So I think first, looking at the market that we're in right now, it's a bloodbath. And looking at it and going and the reason I call it a bloodbath is like there are agents dying on the battlefield every day. Most of them are dying. A lot of them are dying by self-inflicted wounds, bad habits, unwillingness to work hard. They let fear control them, all of that kind of stuff. What happens that gets agents stuck is more than anything else, is we have a level of thinking. And when Napoleon Hill published his book, Think and Grow Rich, people don't realize the profundity, if that's how you say it, the profound profundity of just the title. He didn't say work and grow rich. He didn't say get an education and grow rich. He didn't say any of that. He said think. It's what we think. And so even beyond our thinking is the story that we hold inside of us, which is our core beliefs about anything. It's our core beliefs about ourselves, our core beliefs about business, about the market, about real estate, about buyers, about sellers. It's our core belief in the story that we are telling ourselves. It's what we are thinking is the one thing that you have absolute control over, no matter what. It doesn't matter what. I can't control the market. I can't control interest rates. I can't control buyers. I can't control sellers. I can't control the other agent. I can't control my broker. I can't even control my own health. My heart could stop beating. I could get hit by a truck today. But one thing that I have absolute control over is my mind, and then the choices I make with my mind to then think certain thoughts, have certain attitudes, and take certain actions. And so when somebody is stuck, it simply says your thinking that got you here will not get you there. So like Albert Einstein said, he said, you cannot solve today's problems with the same level of thinking that created them. So I'm here. Here's my problem. I'm stuck. Do you want to stay stuck? No. Then you can't keep thinking the same thoughts or doing the same thing. That's what brought you here. You are where you are today because of who you are today. And it's okay with you, or you would change it. So when it's not okay, you got to go, okay, I got to change not just what I'm doing. Because if I change what I'm doing, but I'm still thinking the same limiting beliefs, the same thoughts, that I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how to do luxury homes. I grew up in a mobile home, so I'm not worthy to do luxury homes, that was my story. I never could break into the high end until I bought my own house before I could really feel competent that I was worthy of a luxury home. And because I grew up in a mobile home, but my story, I was still at the same level of thinking that I'm a mobile home guy. That's who I am. I'm a guy who grew up in a mobile home. So walking into a 6,000 square foot luxury home in Colleyville, Texas was like, oh shit. The first time I saw a bidet, I thought, why do they have a water fountain in the back? It just made no sense to me. I didn't know. And I'd seen it on the MLS. It was a bidet. And I'm like, what's a bidet? And I'm like, it was the funniest thing when they're showing it. And I'm like, I can't ask the seller, what is this? Because I'll give myself away. And I got the listing, by the way, full 6%. But it was my first really luxury listing. But I felt so uncomfortable. It was the first time I ever saw a touchscreen remote that controlled the big TV. This was back in like 99. So that was like those were like $3,000 just for the remote. It was crazy back in those days.
Yeah, it was.
You have to change your story. You have to change your story.
So one of the ways I look at it with a stuck agent or an agent that can't get going is, here's the thing. I'm gonna bring out two things that they do. One is they work on their real estate business and they want to do all these things and they keep going, but they're not getting anywhere. And the reason is because, all right, let's use this as an example before I go there, right? So someone that works out every day and they have improvement every day. They achieve their goals through working out, right? You ask that person, okay, Joe, you want to like build up your chest or you want to build up your biceps or your upper body. What are you going to do? And they will give you case in point of everything that they're going to do and give you a whole plan of what they're going to do to get there. Then you ask them about their real estate business. You want to double your real estate business. How are you going to do it?
Yep. And they try new things. So they don't know. Yeah. Or they'll say, well, I'm going to try this thing. I'm trying. So they're trying new things and everybody's looking for the magic pill. I get it. Me too.
I get that too. But Kevin, think about this, right, man? So they've done all the research and learned everything they had to do. And they found what works in fitness, but we go to the real estate business and I'm telling you, they find what works. Yep. Why don't they do it?
Well, because it's this. They think that this is the solution. I got the best. I love kettlebells. Kettlebells are so awesome. Okay, and how much are you using the kettlebells? Oh, but it's just like, oh, it's so hard. I'm so busy. I don't have time and all that kind of stuff. And so no matter what you say, no matter how good the kettlebells are, you have to implement. You have to take the action. I mean, you don't need kettlebells to get ripped.
No,
a tree that you can go and do pull-ups in, and a ground that you can do push-ups on, and ground that you can do sit-ups on, and you can get a ripped body.
Yep.
Right. So it's everybody's looking for the new strategy. Just like I would rather take the pill, and you see it on your internet. When you see it, it'll say like, this new pill, if you take it, you'll burn 8 pounds of fat a night. Here it is, like while you sleep. And I'm like, okay, and how's that working for everybody? And I look around and I go to town and I look around and I'm like, they need these pills because it ain't working. But I guarantee you that they're buying those pills and they're waiting, they're expecting there's one path, and that's work. And there is no shortcut to success. So you said something about I was not a typical, I can't remember how you said it, but I'm not a typical agent, or I was not a typical agent. If you want to succeed in this market, get stuck, you have to stop being typical. Period. Typical agents are dead. You are out of the business. In the next 18 months, you are gone. If you are typical, I'm just a normal guy. Well, stop being a normal guy. I'm just a normal person. I get it. I'm shy. Well, stop being shy. I'm an introvert. I get it. I was the same way. I said I was shy for years. And then I was like, no, I'm not shy. I just don't feel worthy.
Okay. Let me give you one more. I make the calls, but I don't get anywhere.
Okay. You got to get better. So, I mean, you have to identify, and this is where so many agents are operating on an island. They're isolated and they feel alone. This is the worst thing that can happen in any space is being alone, because now I'm me against my own success or my own lack of success, me against my own results. And so it's now me creating a story of why is it not working for me? Why is it not working? Well, and there could be a number of things, but this is where the power of having mentorship, having a coach. I don't believe that anybody who wants to become a high performer will ever get there without a coach. There's never been somebody who gets paid based on the level of their performance. And I'm a coach, so this sounds like a shameless plug, and it is. I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for my coaches and mentors. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for my coaches and mentors. Why? Because I want more. I want to win. And I know that I've passed most of the coaches that I've had in the past. I passed them. So what can they help me with? But I don't ever get to a point where it's like, I got this. I am the emperor. I don't need a mentor. Even the king has his advisors. has the people that will tell him the truth, the people that will keep leading him. So there never comes a point where and if you start, there's never been a professional athlete, a professional performer who gets paid for how well they perform, which is what an agent gets paid for. You get paid for how well you perform. Can you deliver results? Can you get the business? They don't get successful and say, well, as soon as I start winning Olympic gold medals, then I'm going to hire a coach. As soon as I start making money, then I'm going to hire a coach. As soon as I win championships or make it to the NFL, then I'm going to get a coach. No, you get a coach. Like one of my best friends and mentors, Bo Eason, he's got a son, Axel. He's a retired NFL player. And when his son was 6 years old, son said, I want to play both the NFL and the NBA. And so Bo says, okay, how do I help my son do something that's never been done before? The odds are infinitely against him. There is no odd because it's never been done. So what would it take? So he's literally hiring the best football coaches, quarterback coaches, and basketball coaches and the professional athletes that he hired. Leroy Dixon, he hired, who's I think still the 8th fastest man to ever put on shoes. He's one of the few guys that ever beat Usain Bolt in a race. Leroy Dixon. He hired him to teach his son Axel how to run. He hired the guy that was Tom Brady's coach, throwing coach, can't remember his name, out of Orange County. He's old, but hired him when his son was 10 or 11 years old to be his throwing coach. And when they tried to get him in there, he says, we don't coach kids. We coach Division I quarterbacks or NFL quarterbacks. And he goes, hey, but my son has a dream to become an NFL quarterback. And he said, bring him in. So he's literally, I've got a picture of him with some of the best quarterbacks in the world, just him and two other quarterbacks training at the training center in Orange County, California, with the best throwing coach, quarterback coach in the world. Why? Because this is how you become the best. So you invest up front in yourself. Jim Rohn always said it. He said, if you want to be great at something, invest in yourself first. The most important investment you will ever make is investing in yourself. So when you're stuck, you have to change what you are doing, but that starts with changing how you're thinking. And the best person to help you change how you're thinking is a mentor. It doesn't have to be whether it's a coach, like a real estate coach, or a broker, or another agent, but it's got to be somebody that has what you want, that knows how to help you do it.
So there's a lot of coaches out there that will help you along, and then the blame comes on when it doesn't happen. Either comes on the coach or it comes on the agent. Now the agent might do really well while working with that coach, and then they stop, which is like, okay, well, how bad did you really want it in the first place? Yeah. But one of the things we're talking about coaching is that I know that you, as my new friend, I know you have coaches. I know every coach I've ever had coaches, right?
Yep.
And when I was pushed to start doing some coaching and said that's what I wanted to do, my one question to my then coach was, hey man, I've been working with you so long. People tell me I sound like you. Am I going to be stealing stuff from you? Do you think that's what it's going to be? He says, no, because the wisdom that you've earned through your life and through your experiences and through our coaching together is going to help everybody else. And he also said to me, and this is the same thing for every agent. Do you think you're using something that somebody else is, because there's no secrets in this game? He said, where do you think I got it from? You know, everybody gets something from somebody else. But when it comes to the agent says, okay, well, I'll do that and see if it works. That's not the right person to be in this business, in my opinion, right? So the mindset really has to change, wouldn't you say? Yes, they have to change what they're doing, but they also got to change their mindset, Kevin.
Well, so I don't call it your mindset. I call it your story. The reason I don't call it mindset is mindset. We talk about having a powerful mindset. Well, we get in when a mindset tends to be too emotional. Like we get power. Like one moment we feel like I'm unstoppable. There's like, yes, look at me. I just took a listing and then the deal falls apart, or I'll lose 2 listings in a week. And then it's like my mindset goes to shit. So I don't talk about your mindset. I talk about your story. And here's where I discovered this. I discovered it from a guy that was in 2000. He was in the NFL draft and he was a winner. Just knew how to win games. But he wasn't selected till the 7th round, 199th pick. His name was Tom Brady. Everybody looked at that as like crazy that he was taken so late. Didn't look like a quarterback, didn't move like a quarterback. He just like that his scouting report as a rookie was horrible when he went to the NFL Combine. To this day, he has the lowest score of any quarterback in NFL history at the NFL Combine, which is kind of like a tryout for NFL rookies going into the NFL. And when he met Robert Kraft, and you can find this video on YouTube of Robert Kraft and Tom Brady's first meeting. Robert Kraft's the owner of the New England Patriots, and so Tom Brady walks up to him at the training center and introduces himself. Hi, Mr. Kraft, I'm Tom Brady. And Robert Kraft said, I know who you are. You're a 6th-round draft pick. And he goes like, that's right. And I'm the best decision this organization has ever made. Now, this is a guy 6th round. He came in as the 5th-string quarterback his rookie year. No expectation, and everything was going against him. All the bad, even his senior year at Michigan, after leading his team to a great season, his senior year, he gets replaced by a freshman. And he has a fight for his position for half a season before he proves that he is the right one to win the games and take him to win a bowl game. And everything's going against him. But his story, his belief is so powerful that even after all this setback, when somebody says you're a 6th-round draft pick, no, I'm not your 6th-round draft pick. I'm the best decision you've ever made. That is not mindset. That is a belief. That is what I call that was his story in the midst of all kinds of setbacks and disappointments and nobody else believing in him, but he believed in him. And he said, when I got my shot, I would be ready. And he did. He was ready when he got his shot. He replaced one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, a franchise player, Drew Bledsoe, got injured. Right. He came in, never gets his job back. It was not his ability, his talent, his skill. It was his story. And he knew how to win games because he believed and he prepared like nobody else. And they'll tell you to this day, nobody prepared like Tom Brady because he didn't have the speed. He didn't have the arm. He didn't have the skill or the raw talent. He had the commitment, the dedication. Commitment probably drives everything. I call it the first of the 5 great superpowers is you got to be more committed than anybody else. Commitment overpowers anything else. If you're the most committed person in the room, nobody can beat you.
Yeah, it is probably one of my biggest words, my biggest attitudes is commitment, because you're right. I mean, commitment means discipline. It means you're principled. It means nothing's going to get in your way. You know, just look at it. I mean, I mentioned the physical workout compared to the work of this business. And one of the things, I mean, that I've been able to do is commit to, you know, my health, commit to everything I have. I mean, give you an idea about commitment, right? So I decided that I wanted to move, but I decided, you know what, I'm not going to find what I really want. I love my house. So I'm just going to make my house as nice as I can make it without going overboard. And I did that. I committed to that. My physical health, I've committed to that. I get up every morning at 4:15. You know, I'm at the gym by 5. I got my ritual that I do. That's commitment and discipline and principles. Yep. What we need to do is after we do that, for me, and there's one thing I look at every day and talk about my story is where do I want to go with it and what's my day going to look like? You know, there are days that, you know, I don't want to even go to the gym, but I do because I committed to it. There are days where I don't want to come into making calls or talking to agents or, I mean, there's never a day that goes by for me that I don't want to help people, that I will not take a call, that I will not take a one-on-one. I will do that every day because it's what I love to do. Is what I was put here to do. To get to that point, though, from point A to point C, I need to do B, and that's the work, right? And I think every agent needs to see that. They all want this. They all want to work on that listing and put that listing in the MLS and do all that work and coordinate it all, but they're got to be willing to do B. So A, B, and C is really important. So as we move along to that, and we need people to prospect. We need people. One of the things that we do in our business to get leads, I believe the real estate agent's a job description is to prospect for buyers, prospect for sellers, and get contracts signed. I believe that's really simple what it is. But we need to generate those prospects and we need to generate those leads and need to generate those contracts by lead generation or prospecting. But when we talk about Yes Masters and we talk about the book of Yes and we talk about your new book coming up, there's something that is that is really important, and that's where your powers are, right? And how that works is you have to be able to not, in my opinion, not sell, not convince, but being a leader and leading people, as you say, power of leading people to a decision. Talk to me about that process and where from A to Z in that process for an agent.
Yeah, it's all it's all the words to me. Used to, I made a big deal about certain words. Like, I don't like the word selling because it's a resistance trigger, and it is.
Yep.
And all of that. But here is the master skill of real estate. There's one skill of real estate. In fact, if you want to be successful in anything, whether it's real estate or anything else, and I say there's two ways to make money in America. Two ways to make money in America and most of the world. Number one, get an education and sit in your chair and do what you're told, i.e., be an employee. Or number two, you must learn how to communicate effectively and lead people to decisions. It's the only way money is made. It does not matter what you're producing, what you're doing, what service or product you have. If you want to make a lot of money and you're not going to sit in a chair and be told what to do by somebody else, i.e. be an employee, and you're going to have your own business, it doesn't matter what industry it is, what area, what sector, it does not matter. If you cannot lead people to decisions, you lose, because you got to collaborate, you got to get partnerships, you got to get clients, customers, team members, you got to be able to lead your team. Whatever it is, this is the master skill. This is what the book More Yes, More Success is founded on. So one is real estate agents. The average real estate agent is just chasing the next deal, chasing the next deal, chasing the next deal, instead of building a business. Now, the biggest key to a business is relationships. And I don't, and I'm telling you, Dave, it pisses me off so much, because I see this. Some of the top coaches and trainers are now saying, stop harassing and bothering and begging your people that you know, friends and family and past clients for business. We're going to teach you how to get business without ever talking to anybody you already have a relationship with. And I'm like, 70% of all transactions in America are done with an agent that the person already knew. Why are you telling them to avoid that? I know why they're telling them, because most agents, the average agent, is afraid to talk to people they know. Why? Because it's not, here's why. You don't think that the person you are asking for business, your best friend, your past client, somebody you know from another job, or somebody you know from church, why are we afraid to ask them for business? Why are we afraid of that? And here's why. Number one, we don't think they will trust us.
That's the number one freaking myth in working with your sphere, working with people you know, is they don't want to hear from us because they're not going to trust us. That's the number one myth. Right.
And here's the reason. They won't trust you. Here's why. You don't trust you. If you are afraid to talk to them and ask for business, it's not because they won't trust you, it's because you don't trust you. And you're right. If you don't trust you, how in the world can you expect them to trust you? So the key is you have to change your belief, your story about yourself. And so story number one. So I train in the real estate vortex, and this is part of building an entire business framework to build a 7-figure business. And I don't think any agent, I think if you're not doing 24 deals a year, you should be eliminated from the industry. If you are doing it wrong. If you're not doing 24 deals a year in any market at any time, if you can't do 2 deals a month, you're doing it wrong. And you got to break out of that you're stuck. If you're stuck at 10 deals a year, 12, 15, 18 deals, 24 deals a year just gets you into the game. So the belief, the number one story that you have to have is, I am the best decision you will ever make. That's got to be your story. I am the best decision you'll ever make. You want to sell your house? I'm the best decision you'll ever make. You want to buy a house? I'm the best decision you'll ever make. Now, that's a different conversation of, do I work with buyers and all of that kind of stuff? Because I would very rarely work with any buyers at all. When I did my best year, 108 transactions, I took 96, 97 listings, sold 92 of them, which was unacceptable now to me, that I did not sell every listing I took. But I didn't work with any of the buyers. I had a buyer's agent that took care of the buyers. Now, that's, again, a different conversation. I don't think you should do any buyer lead generation. 0, 0, 0 buyer lead generation. You don't need to, because you don't need buyers. What you need is listings, because when you get listings, buyers come for free. They come automatically. So the only people when I'm prospecting, the only buyers I'm going to get is personal circle, people that relationships I already have, and I'm asking them for business. Well, 50% of those deals are going to be buyers. just because for every buyer, there's a seller. So awesome. But I don't need to spend any of my lead generation focus on looking for buyers. Buyers will come automatically. When you have a great listing and it's sellable and you put it on the market at the right price, make it easy to show, make it show great, have great pictures on the MLS. That's all it takes. It's going to sell in any market. It's going to sell. So I don't need to chase buyers. I need to find listings. And with all the class action lawsuits and all the stuff's going on, buyer agency is that close to being eliminated. Traditional buyer agency is that close to being gone. If you do not know how to master finding sellers and leading sellers to the decision to hire you, which is at least 5 times harder than getting a buyer to hire you. If you don't know how to master sellers, you are out of the business in 24 months, period.
Okay. So I want to go back to what's that?
You have to master sellers,
Great. So I want to go into how to do that. And one of the things you said earlier, which is like, it was typical in 98 when you get started, and it's still typical today. 100+ people in your first brokerage, and you had role play every day, and you and another person showed up. Only 2 of you showed up
every day.
How? Hey man, you might have the answer to the ultimate question for every broker owner, team leader, et cetera. How do you get these people to show up?
If you're a broker, if you're a broker, if you're a broker or team leader, here's how you make them show up. Show up or get the fuck out of my office. Real simple. You want to win or do you want to lose? If you want to lose, I'm okay with that, but you're not going to lose on my team. If you're going to be on my team, you're going to win. This would be like me being the head coach and saying practice is optional. You couldn't make it on your junior high basketball team if you did not show up to train. If you did not show up for practice, you couldn't do it. And they will spend more hours training than they will playing a game. Period. There's not a single professional out there in any other performance industry other than real estate where practice is considered optional. It's like how many hours a week does the average agent spend practicing the conversations of leading people to decisions? Answer. And everybody knows the answer is 0. And like, could you perform? Could you play if you were a piano player, if you're a musician, if you were an actor, if you were an athlete? You couldn't nobody even talk to you. I mean, not like nobody even take you serious. You couldn't even get a license. It's just impossible. So it's like we have this illusion that, well, I'm just a good person. I'm a nice person. And I get it. I'm a great athlete. I could dunk the basketball when I was a sophomore and I'm 5'10". I could dunk the basketball. But that, because I could jump, did not make me a great basketball player. Because I trained my butt off every day. I was in the gym. I ate, drank, and slept basketball. That's what I did. And because of that, I became elite at that level.
Right.
But I was willing to do the work. I was the first one in the gym, last one to leave. They had to kick me out. My dad was high school principal. That helped because I could have a key to the gym if I wanted. But I lived, and because of that, I performed at a different level. The biggest thing I did not have was I only had 1 year to have a great coach. Coach makes all the difference.
The reason that I've done what my path, right, is I was a broker owner for 21 years. And the reason I left was I wanted to work with people that wanted to work, and I did it the wrong way. So do I consider it a failure? Somewhat in one way, right? Now what I'm doing today is, and it's going to be a quick shameless plug for me. Now what I'm doing then is I want to work with people that want to work. So I've set up a simple framework. This is what you do. From 9:30 to 10, you role play. From 10 to 12, you're making calls. You're setting appointments. You're not prospecting. You're setting appointments. And from 12 to 1, we're setting appointments through social media. I've got a great process that works. That's what we do 5 days a week. Now, does everybody show up? No. But we do that. We open that up every Wednesday for anybody that wants to come. So that's my quick shameless plug. It's called the Modern Agent Experience. You can go to modernagentexperience.com. We do that every week. Now, the hope is that people come and they see this and they want to help themselves. And people say, well, Dave, why do you do this for free? And why are you not recruiting people at this thing? It's simple. I'm here to help people. I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. You are here to help people. We're all here to make money. No, there's no question. Yes Masters is not a charity organization, and neither is Real Estate Skill Builder or Modern Agent Team. We're not charity. As my dad used to say, I am not an eleemosynary organization. I didn't know what that meant until he told me.
I still don't know what it means. So.
Right. So anyway, that's what he used to say. And, I did a shout out to my dad. But anyway, the point is that if you're going to show up, you've got to do it. I have a simple saying that I'm trying to come up with. Get up, show up, and grow up. I mean, you just got to do that, man. So what is, it's like, it's not science. It's not rocket science. I mean, what you do and what you learn is a science, because you've got to put all the things together. And what you're going to learn when you do this is you learn how to talk to people. Mm-hmm. And I used this example the other day, Kevin. It's like when we're out here, when you're a third grader or a fourth grader, your mind is wide open, right? And then somewhere between fourth grade, sixth grade, they say, well, you better straighten up and fly right. And you better, get in line. You better do what you're told. And, stop having such a crazy mind. And they take your head and they compress it. It's the same thing with the real estate business. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see all these people making money and I want to be a real estate agent. So guess what? I'm going to go get my real estate license, and your imagination and your exploration mind do this, right? Okay, so I not need to sound like an asshole. I need to convince people. I need to sell them. I need to tell them that what they're doing is wrong. No, be this person. Don't be this person.
Yep.
And that you get through communication and helping people on the other end of the phone. Would you agree with that?
Well, 100%. So the scripts are the tools. Your scripts are like, if you're a tennis player, your scripts are your tennis racket. If you're a golf player, your golf clubs are your scripts. Right. It is the skill with which you execute that makes it effective. So learning a script and learning how to lead people to a decision are connected, but they're two totally different things. And it's easy to take and get like great scripts and to, learn the scripts, practice them, role play. You can do that, but learning how to use the scripts to lead people to a decision. We're like, why do I go on a listing presentation? To get a listing? No, I go in to lead them to a decision. Because if I go in to get a listing, when it's self-serving, and with the moment somebody's coming to get something from you, you immediately resist them. I'm not here to get a listing. I'm here to help you make good decisions, to help you get what you want in your life. You guys want to move? I'm here to help you do that. My job is not to get the listing. My job is to lead them to a good decision. And if they want to sell their house and move, guess what? I am the best decision they could make. But my job is to lead them to that decision as a collaborator with them, not as an adversary. They see the average seller looks at the agent as an expense. So they look at you almost adversarially, like it's me against you. And a lot of times they don't trust you, especially if they don't already know you. They're like, I know what you're here. You just want a listing so you get a commission check. I get it. People are like, I know you just want me to get in coaching so you make money. And I'm like, no. I care more about your success than I care about your money. And that's got to be legit. You can fake that a little bit, but you can't fake it over the long term. I care. And you can ask any one of my coaching members. You can ask the coaching members that used to be with me to quit and joined another coaching, and they'll ask, which coach cared about you more than anybody else you've ever met? The level of my commitment to your success drives your ability to trust me. And it's got to be the same with you. You have to go in, and you can't fake this over the long term, because it's going to come out with your reviews or lack of reviews. Is you got to genuinely care about the best interest of your client. This is what it means to be an agent. You act in the best interest. You represent the best interest of another. That's what agent means, to act on behalf of somebody else, not to act. This is different than any other sales industry in the world. Real estate is uniquely different. If I'm selling cars, I don't represent the customer. I represent the dealer. If I'm selling insurance, I don't represent the subscriber or the whatever they call an insurance holder, a policy holder. They represent the insurance company. Right. But as a real estate agent, I don't represent RE/MAX or Keller Williams or EXP. I don't represent them. I represent the client. My number one fiduciary obligation is to them. It's not to the market. It's not to the MLS. It's not to the board of realtors. It's not to my company. It's to the client, my client. And when you understand that, then they realize, oh, I have somebody on my side. Who's got my back? I got your back. That's what they want to know. Who can I trust is the number one question every buyer, every seller has in today's world. It's everybody's question. Who's got my back? Everybody that comes to me and asks for coaching, they're like, do you got my back? Or are you just in it for the money? And it's the right question. And you got to be the right answer.
And just to follow up on that, I mean, we talked about this as well. And my point, which is my opinion, is that I think a lot of the brokerages are broken because they're based on the same thing that they just cared about the numbers, right? They just cared about the numbers. Didn't care about, I mean, my brokerage was 60, 70 people. I had 4 or 5 top people, and I couldn't get the other people to show up. The only time they showed up was when I fed them and gave them liquor. That's when they showed up, right?
Yeah.
Today, it's not. I don't think it's about that, but I also think coaching is the same thing. What's the fun things that the coaches are going to have? What kind of events are they going to have? Oh yeah, and I'll think about it. And then they do really well during coaching, and when they're out of it, they don't do it. And for me, it's the same thing for you, right? It says, I want your success. I'm not interested in your money, but the money will come.
Yeah, I'm interested. I didn't say I wasn't interested in the money.
I am interested in the money.
I'm more interested in their success than I am their money.
So the way I say that, people say, well, Dave, how can you do this without charging people to come into your universe every week? I said, look, here's the thing. Someday, if you want to work with me, you're going to ask me, but I'm not going to sell you. If you like my experience, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm still winning. Honestly, we all do this for the money. There's no question about it. But if we can do what we love, we still want the money. But anyway, let's go. You talked earlier, and I want to, if you can get into this really quickly, the 7 domains.
Okay.
All right.
So 7 domains is your whole life. So these are what I call the 7 domains, and they're different than anything else I've ever seen. And there's 2 domains that nobody talks about. So number 1 that nobody talks about is your feelings domain. Nobody talks about it. Your emotions are the most powerful mover in your life. They're more important. Your feelings drive you more than your wife or your husband, more than your beliefs, more than your emotions. It's what makes a teenage girl get pregnant. It's what makes an 11-year-old boy smoke a cigarette. Is peer pressure, because their emotions is I need approval. So our feelings drive us. So number 1 is your feelings. It's the most powerful. I call it the land of giants. In that domain, in your kingdom, your feelings. And the average agent is driven by one emotion, fear. And that emotion drives their behavior every day. It drives the way they show up. You've got to master your feelings. Number 1. Number 2, your fitness. This is your only vehicle that you have to accomplish every goal you've ever set, every dream, to love every person that was brought into your life. Your body is your vehicle. And if you don't take care of your body, you're going to lose. You don't have the energy to win or the longevity to enjoy it. So taking care of your fitness is absolutely paramount. I think, and I tell my agents this, if you are fat, nobody's going to trust you. If you are soft, if you are unhealthy, people can tell. They judge you. This is a competitive marketplace. It's a competitive world. Have you noticed that that how good of a shape a multimillionaire or billionaire was in did not matter. But today you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, they're ripped. They have 6-pack abs. They understand that your body, your fitness has a huge impact in the way you show up, the way you perform. You look at guys that are the great, like the best coaches in the world. Grant Cardone, he's in his 60s. He's ripped, right? He takes care of his physical body. When you're in elite physical condition, everybody looks at you different. You walk into a room, people see you different. And I did not take this seriously for years. And I would kind of go up and down. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm getting older and I don't want to look old. And so this is like how you take care of your body really matters. Nobody could guess how old I really am. Nobody would guess it. And they wouldn't guess it because I don't look my age. And the reason I don't look my age is not because of some genetic magical thing. It's because of the way I've taken care of my life, taken care of my body. So fitness is number 2. Number 3 is family and friends, your relationships. Okay. Number 4 is your faith. It's what you believe. Now, this is not necessarily religious. If you're religious, it is. But if you're, no matter what it is, it's your moral compass. It's what you believe about life, what you believe about right and wrong, your values, your relationship with God or the higher power, or what you believe about the universe. What you believe is your faith domain. If you're not living in congruity with your faith domain, your life isn't going to go well. So let's see what I've not gotten to. Finance. Your finance is your 5th domain. Now, these are not like in order other than just the way I explain them. Your finance domain, making money. Making money is the key that unlocks the door to abundance in almost all of the other 7 domains. Okay. Number 6 domain is fun. I think people do not give enough high priority to just having fun, doing something every day that gives you pure joy for no other reason than the fact that it gives you joy and it's fun, but it has to feed the other domains. So it cannot be a toxic addiction. So anything that I do, like I just have fun watching Netflix. Yeah, but see, that's going to make you broke. Because you get addicted to it and you spend 4 or 5 hours a day watching Netflix or watching the screen suck, YouTube or whatever, and it's mindless. That may be fun, but it's not powerful. So it's an addiction. So if it's toxic or it takes your life the wrong direction, it's not fun. So fun is something that I do that recharges my batteries. It gives me fulfillment. I just do it for pure enjoyment. I go mountain climbing every day. Why? It's just fun for me. I love going mountain climbing. So I just this is my hike every day. It's my number one source of exercise. And so my fitness and fun domain match. Okay. Playing basketball, playing golf, all that where your fun and your fitness can integrate. If you can do it with your spouse, now my fitness and my fun and my family, all three domains are intertwined. I've got one of my best friends, Mike Fritz. He gets most of his business deals are made on a golf course. So he gets his fitness, his fun, and his finance all fed. Number 7 domain is your focus. Your focus domain is your main calling or purpose in life. It's what Napoleon Hill called your definite major purpose. Why am I here? What is the main thing I'm focusing on right now? Now, I don't have time to argue this with anybody right now, but if you're a full-time real estate agent, your real estate career is your focus. It's your focus domain. You go, well, my family's more important than my business. I get that. But where do you spend most of your waking hours and the best of your energy every day? How many hours do you spend in real estate? 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Okay. Do you spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day focusing purely on your family and spending time with them? Nope. Then they're not your focus. I'm not saying they're less important, but you are spending the majority of your time and your emotional energy and focus every day here in your focus. Now, if it is most people that are high achievers, their focus is also their source of finance, right? It's how they make their money. But understanding they may not be the same, because when somebody becomes truly financially free, their focus may shift to something that does not make them money. It may be rescuing pets, right? Perfect. You're not making money, but I don't, that's my focus now. It's not making money. It's not doing something that makes me money. It's not my focus anymore. So focus and finance can be the same, integrated completely, or it's just, I have financial stability, I have generational wealth. So now my focus is serving the community, doing X, Y, or Z. And it may or may not be the same. So just having that clarity about how each domain, and they've all got to be working. So we do this every quarter. We go deep with our agents and having them evaluate each of their domains, ranking it, why, what's working, what's not working, what do I need to change? Because if one domain burns to the ground, if one domain gets out of control, it will burn everything to the ground. And every single one of your domains, if my financial domain is in bad shape, it's going to affect my focus domain. It's going to affect my fun domain. It's going to affect my feelings domain. It's going to affect my family and friends domain. If I'm having a fight with my spouse, it's going to affect my ability to focus on my business. It's going to affect my finance. It's going to affect my fun. It's going to affect my feelings. It's going to affect everything, right? So if I'm out of shape, it affects every domain. So every domain is completely integrated and you can't separate them out. And so the idea of living what I call a 7-dimensional life is where true greatness happens. People are like, well, I think there's more to life than money. I do too. And that's why there's 7 domains. But I believe that being the best in the world at all 7 and integrating, that's how you win a true championship in your life. And you can win championships in business while winning championships in your life if you're clear that the ultimate game is my whole life in all 7 domains. There's a crash course in 7 domains.
I love that, man. I mean, this is really huge for me listening to that. I mean, one of the things that I get the pleasure of doing every week for the last 263 weeks is learning from people like you and asking these questions, because I'm going to tell you more than half of what I'm asking is so I can understand the shit more. Right. And it's just so important. Man, this has been an amazing almost hour. And I think one of the most important things we talked about, aside from the 7 domains, is it's basically not an appointment to get a listing. It's an appointment to lead people to a decision, right? And I think that was really, really, really powerful. And I want people, if they haven't seen that or don't understand what I'm talking about, go back and replay this and look at that. But you got a couple of things going on. You've got your new book, right, which is More Yes, More Success. Talk about that a little bit and how people can get their hands on that book.
So More Yes, More Success is 2 things. One, it's about how to lead people to a decision. So my first book, The Book of Yes, was about how to have conversations, scripts, and how to use scripts and master that. This one is more dynamically on your whole business approach. So it's on building a business that lets you have a life. So it includes training on the 7 domains, but it is a framework of how to build, not just chase one deal after another, but how to make every seller want you, and how to build a business so that business is constantly lining up. So the book has not been finished yet. It's not published. So when you pre-order the book, we're giving you a ton of bonuses. which when you go to moreyesbook.com, you'll get it. So I'm basically saying, hey, get it today. And I'm going to give you over $1,000 of my training. These are courses and trainings that we will sell at an 8-week bonus for people that bought the book, 8 weeks of script coaching. And so we're talking over 10 hours of some of the best script coaching I have ever done. This was just finished last month. If anybody today, when you pre-order the book, moreyesbook.com, and then you'll have to email us and say, please, and please is the subject line, please send me the 8 weeks of recordings. I will give you those 8 weeks of script coaching call, which I promise you is going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars to you if you actually watch them and implement them, guaranteed. And if not, I'll give you all your money back, which is the book cost of the book. When the book is published, then you'll get the first order of books that we get, you'll get the book shipped directly to your home. Shipping is included in the pre-order of the book. So yeah, it's going to be a game changer. I'm super excited about it. It's taking longer than I thought because I just want to get it right. I don't want to just put something out that's not powerful.
I think I think your book is a game changer, is what you're talking about, and everything we talked about today. I mean, as I said earlier, I'm so fortunate to have great people on this broadcast, and I haven't, you're an author, you're a coach, and for just to let people know what I got coming up next week, and just on the bottom, I've got Kyle Draper coming up next week. He's a top producer and realtor and a team leader, but he's also a coach, a social media coach. Started out as a minister. So he went from ministry, I swear to God, started as a minister and went to become a roofer and then became a realtor. So Kyle this is his second time on the broadcast. He is an amazing individual, just published his first book. And I just love the guy. He is just so very, very cool. And let me just make sure I put your contact information up here again. There it is. So you got the More Yes book. I want to put up, here you go. There's your Instagram. It's up there. Kevin, if there's one thing that an agent can do to build their business, even in this market, what would it be?
Talk to people.
Right.
You got to talk to people. There is no shortcut. You got to talk to people. I don't care where you generate the lead, if you're doing geographic farming, social media marketing, whatever, but until you get people into a conversation, you're not going to get business. So you got to get comfortable doing it. You got to get confident. That's why the skill of leading people, communication, is the master skill of real estate. So talk to people, get out there. The old fashioned way of just getting engaged in conversations at Starbucks or in line at Trader Joe's or wherever you are, go at the gym, get into a conversation at church, get into conversations in civic organizations, meetup groups, whatever it is. Get into conversations with people, build relationships, get their contact information, send them what we call a personal intro video, which means I just record a quick video that says, hey, Dave, Kevin Ward here. It's so good to meet you at Trader Joe's just now. I just wanted to send you my contact information and let you know if there's anything I can do to help you. Please let me know. And again, it's so great to meet you, and we'll talk soon. 15, 20-second video. I text it directly to their phone. I don't use an app. Text it directly to their phone. They will keep it in their phone because they don't delete cell phones. They don't delete text messages, and they'll have your video. And so they'll always be able to remember, even if they don't save you in their phone, when they're like, who's that realtor that I met at Trader Joe's? And they'll start scrolling back through. They'll see a number they don't recognize, click on it, and there's your video. So it's like, now there's a face with the name and you're unforgettable. So if you've got to connect with people, i.e. start relationships. And then you've got to grow those relationships with what we call the personal circle vortex, which is that they forget about you. They're not going to use you. They won't use you or refer you. If they don't remember you, or if they don't think about you, they will not refer you. They will not use you. So it's your job, not theirs, to remind them that you're the best decision they'll ever make and you're there to help them. So that is your responsibility. And that is where every conversation just goes into this vortex of connect with them, start the relationship, build the relationship, lead them to decisions when they're ready to make a decision buy or sell, and then deliver results, and then leverage that success create a cascade of more business through delivering great results. So that is in a nutshell the vortex, and that is the path. Every other tool, AI, social media, every geographic farming, prospecting, all of those are just tools and strategies, but they must operate in a framework that takes your business from beginning to end, so that Costco doesn't start over at zero every day. Amazon does not start over at zero every day. Apple does not start over at zero. When they introduce a new product, they have a line of devoted, loyal clients who will line up around the block to get their latest product that they do not need, right? Because they've created Starbucks, same way. They've created a relationship that makes people line up to use them. That's just the way that's the way we are. I don't go to any other market except Trader Joe's and Costco if I can help it. Why? Loyalty. I like the brand. I like what I get when I'm there. And so I go back over and over and over again. That's what you want. You want people that will use you and refer you over and over and over. And the more value you can add, the more you can help them know how that you can help them, the more business that you're going to have. Stop chasing one deal at a time, and worrying about where it's coming from. You got to learn this process.
Gold. Simply
Millions. I got to throw in Millions Live. It's a brand new 3-day event.
Right.
Millions Live coming up in August. It's a 3-day event on how to build a 7-figure business, or 8 or 9. I've got a broker that's coming in that is a real estate broker he's 39 years old and has a 9-figure income. Last year he made $170 million. He's 39 years old in El Paso, Texas, named Preston Brown. I'm going to be bringing in multimillionaires, people that have 7- and 8-figure incomes and 9-figure incomes, to train you how to think different, what to do, things that nobody else is doing that is making less than $1 million a year, and learning how to do that. millionslive.com. All of our in-person seats are sold out, so we have virtual tickets available. They can go to You can go to millionslive.com, get your early bird ticket on that. 100% guaranteed it'll be the best event you've ever been to. No offense to any.
And they can find that on your website, yesmasters.com, right?
Yeah, or millionslive.com. Either one. Yeah.
Great. All right, man. So two quick things. One is a question, one is a statement. Number one, how do I help you grow your business?
Well, great question. Send people to these, get the book, moreyesbook.com.
Got it.
And Millions Live. I'll invite you, David. I would love to have you come. If I can, I'll get you in the room in person and out on me. It would be just the value. I guarantee the value is going to be there for you, and it'd be great connections for you as well. And then what was the other one? You had a question, and then you had
I know you did your research. You talked about your research earlier, and if you did your research, you know that. And this was the kicker. I know for you to come on is the hat.
Oh yes.
So this way, you're going to get the hat. I know how to get it to you, and so this way you can wear this on your. Oh, there you go. There's another one right there.
Trading hats. I'm sending you. I will not send you this one. This is a worn copy. I'll send you a brand new one. But also, this is Carpe Victorium. Seize victory. Victory does not come to you for free. You have to seize it. You have to take the victory. And this is how I believe it's all about winning in life. Winning is everything. So seize the victory. So I'll send you a hat as well. And I got to tell you, I just want to congratulate you, Dave. Guys, this is incredible what you have done. You have done 5 years, almost 5 years straight of every week a podcast. And the people that you brought on, the relationships you built through doing that, I admire it. I'm inspired by it. I admire it, the work, the consistency. People are like, well, I need to be more consistent. Well, do what Dave has done. But I guarantee your consistency is driven by one thing that underlies all consistency, and that is commitment. Nobody has a consistency problem. They have a commitment problem. If you're inconsistent and you're an adult, your problem is you're not committed. Right. But I know I need to guys, I could share with you story after story of people. Can I read one message I got last week?
Yes.
This is why I think this is what breaks my heart, and what is so critical to me about why you need to be successful in real estate and make a lot of money, because life happens. And this was a message I got from one of my coaching members in my Master Path Launch coaching. This is my entry-level coaching program. She says, thanks so much for all your encouragement this year, especially today's Q3 goal setting. I've been lying to myself all year, and I am at a pivotal spot right now. Business was going okay. Wasn't great. Business was going okay. Her husband, I'm not going to say his name, has been showing signs of Alzheimer. And when I was at camp last week, he may have had a mini stroke. My son called to say dad forgot how to work his legs. Took him to see doctor yesterday. She said she scheduled a CT CAT scan, which is scheduled. Right now, we have no insurance, so I may have to go back to corporate America to get us coverage. I am hoping to work my butt off doing calls this quarter and get my business going so I can just pay the $1,400 a month. That, my friend, is how the average agent thinks and they operate. They operate on this like paycheck to paycheck, month to month, just make enough money to get by. Guys, here's how this is the standard. You have to make a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, is I want you to imagine that you knew 7 years from today, you're going to be in an accident that is going to incapacitate you and you will not be able to work or produce anymore. 7 years from today. You got 7 years to make enough money that when that happens, you're not just not able to make money and support your family anymore and provide for them. You now become a burden to your family. You become an expense to your family. What is going to happen to your family when that happens? And we live in a land of abundance and opportunity that's so big, anybody can do this. You can make 7 figures. You can create true financial freedom, financial abundance, generational wealth in 7 years. But if you don't do it, something like this is gonna happen to you or somebody in your family. And then all of a sudden, everything you dreamed about, you go from dreams and expectation and like life's all good to all of a sudden going into survival mode and being stuck in stress and scarcity and pain and letting your family down. And you are in a profession that gives you the opportunity to create an income, to create a lifestyle and a stability of depth with a treasury and a kingdom and cash flow that can support you and your family for the rest of your life, and you never have to downsize. And this, I think, is this bad thinking is when we think, well, I'm doing pretty good this year. I'm making more money than last year. Right. But are you prepared for 7 years from now? Are you prepared for when shit hits the fan and everything goes bad? If COVID happens again, real estate gets shut down, are you in trouble? Does that stress you out? Does that freak you out? When COVID hit us, we had 7 figures in our personal bank accounts. So I was like, stressed? Yes, we got to adapt and adjust, but I didn't have to worry about my family. I was taking it. And that's what you have to do to be a responsible adult and provider for your family. Sorry, I got on a little rant on that, but that's how I feel.
No, I mean, I'm with you 100%. I mean, and it's what, you know what, it's the biggest charge that I have is to get people to the point where they don't have to worry. And it's like, dude, you say you have a commitment, but you don't show up every day, or you say you want this. And my biggest question to everybody when they say they want this, this, and this, how would I know?
Yep.
What are you doing? How would I know? And I tell people every day as well. Every day when you get up, you tell yourself what you want and look in the mirror and say to yourself, how would I know? So on that note, man, I can't thank you enough. I mean, this has been uplifting, inspiring, intriguing. It's been all those words and more. And look, just stay on for a second. We're going to go out next week. We got Kyle Draper coming on, a great guy, great friend, author, former minister, former roofer, realtor, now social media coach. Thanks so much, Kevin. Stay on for 1 minute as we go out and we come back. All right. Hit that.